Aita for telling my sister's fiancé she was cheating on him. It all started one night when my sister, Jenny, came over for drinks with my husband, his friend Kyle, and me. Later that evening, I noticed Kyle was totally flirting with her, and she was eating it up. I pulled her aside and reminded her that she had a fiancé, Ben, and that Kyle is a total player. I told her flat out, do not go there. But she brushed me off, saying she was unhappy in her relationship and wanted out. The next morning, I found out she'd slept with Kyle. Then she told me they were going to start a fling until she had the courage to break up with Ben. I was furious. I knew this would only end badly, but Jenny's always been the type who says, if someone wants me, I'll take it, so she didn't care. During the week, she told me she hadn't talked to Kyle and wasn't planning to. I was relieved. I didn't want to be part of her mess. But then, over the next 2 weeks, she started telling Ben she was coming to stay at my place on the weekends. I didn't know she was using me as her excuse. I thought it was weird, though. She lived 3 hours away, and it made no sense to drive all that way for just a few hours. The second weekend, I called her in the morning to make sure she'd gotten home safely. She usually texts when she does. And who do I hear in the background? Kyle. I was livid. I asked why she'd lied to me, and she started giving me excuses about being in love and how her fiancé was abusive, saying I didn't understand what it was like for her. I told her to be careful and left it at that, even though I knew she was digging herself deeper. 2 more weeks went by, and every time I asked if she'd told Ben she was leaving him, she gave me another excuse. Then one weekend, Ben called me asking if Jenny was at my house. I told him she had just left and was on her way home, not knowing she was actually heading to Kyle's again. Later that night, I called her to check in, and she admitted she was with Kyle. I lost it. I yelled that I didn't want to be her alibi for cheating anymore. She said she wouldn't use me again, and I thought that was the end of it. But the next weekend, around 11 p.m., Ben called again asking if Jenny was at my house because he couldn't reach her. I panicked and pretended I couldn't hear him, saying I'd call back in the morning. Then I called Jenny at midnight, furious, asking why Ben still thought she was with me. She admitted she'd been telling him she was at my place helping me out because I'd just had a newborn. I went off, told her not to use my husband and my house as her cover story anymore. My husband, who was awake by then, said it wasn't fair to us and that Ben deserved to know the truth. Not even 5 minutes later, Ben called again, this time sobbing. I asked what was wrong, and he asked, is Jenny cheating on me? I froze. He kept begging me to tell him the truth, saying he just needed to know. When I asked why he thought that,